Hey guys, it's Benedictines the Vegan. Today I want to talk about antinatalism and free will. I was talking to John's Jenny in the comment section of one of my videos. The one titled "Breeding is the only thing that is wrong." What I was saying in that video is that the things that we get to do in this world, we do these things because we were programmed to do them by our genes or our experiences. I like saying that there are no good people, there are no bad people. We are products of our genes, circumstances, and what else? And experiences. Yeah. So he said that I'm contradicting myself because I'm saying that breeding is the only thing that is wrong because we are programmed to become the people that we are. We don't really have a choice. We don't really have free will. So it means that even people that are reproducing don't have free will. They're just doing what they're programmed to do. It also means that I'm an internatalist because I was programmed to become an internatalist. You see? Because we don't get to choose what we want. Did I say that right? We don't get to choose what to want. We just find ourselves wanting things. We don't get to choose what we need, what to need. We just find ourselves needing things. We don't really get to choose what to think, do we? Where do our thoughts come from? I mean, thoughts just come into your head and you just start thinking them. You observe them and you just let them pass sometimes. Sometimes you observe them a little longer. But you're not really in control. You're not really in control. Have you guys watched I wanted to say The Matrix, Inception? I think it's becoming my favorite movie of all time. I think it's gonna beat The Matrix. Because the more I watch it, the more I'm like, whoa, this is the greatest movie ever. I really love that movie. Uh, in the movie, they are able to go into people's dreams. In fact, they're able to design people's dreams. So Leonard DiCaprio, he was the main character there. I forgot the name of the character that he was playing, but yeah, he was the main character there. Him and his wife, and his wife liked creating a dream where they would go and experience whatever they wanted to experience. And because in dreams you can literally alter your time sense, yeah, they would be in their dreams for many years, 70 years sometimes. So just so that they do not forget that they are in a dream, because it's easy to forget that you're in a dream. In fact, most of the times when we dream, we don't even get to realize that we're dreaming. We believe that we're having, a real experience. So they had this thing called a totem that they used. They'll spin it. I think each and every character had a different totem. Leonard DiCaprio had this thing that he would spin. Just if that thing never stopped spinning, it will mean that he's in a dream, and if it stops spinning, it will mean that he's not in a dream. That's how they would realize that they're not in a dream. Um, but his wife locked her totem away. Oh, his totem. I don't really remember what really happened. But she wanted the world that she was in to be real. So she kind of forgot that it wasn't real. So Leonard Caprio decided to plant an idea in her mind. That's what they call the movie Inception. You actually plant an idea in somebody's mind, and It exists. It makes them do the things that you want them to do. So he decided to plant an idea in their mind, an idea that the world that they were in is not real, and death was the only escape. The reason why he did that is because she didn't want to leave that world. It was so dope for her. She's like, ah, this is real. This is real. So he had to do that. He did that, and they killed themselves in that dream to wake up into the so-called real world. But that idea existed in her mind, even in the real world. You know, she still felt like the world wasn't real, and death was the only escape. And she ended up committing suicide, and he got arrested. He didn't get arrested, but the because she wanted him to go into that world with her where she felt she was going. I think she wrote that he wanted to kill her. So yeah, the police just thought he killed her. So he couldn't he just had to keep on running. So let me not let me not spoil the whole movie for you. But what I'm trying to say is that the ideas that we get from the experiences that we have or from other people. you know it's not like we just born knowing everything. We're born knowing nothing, and we are told what to think, how to think, all these things. And these are the things that influence our decisions. you don't just you are not just born knowing everything. The truth is, if you were born in a place different from where you were born, you probably will be thinking differently. If you were born in a country where there are a lot of Muslims, and maybe your parents were Muslims, you'd probably be a Muslim. If you were born in a place where Christianity is dominating, you'd probably be a Christian. It's the ideas. That's why Hobson says, you think you're original, you're not original, you're programmed to be. You were literally programmed. We're programmed by our genes, but we're also programmed by our experiences. I became an internatalist because of what I've experienced. Before I turned 25, I didn't ever think I was gonna stop wanting to have children at all. At all. If someone came to me and said, you're gonna reach a point in your life where you will never want to have children, I will be like, you crazy. I never thought that could happen. But the experience that I had, it changed everything. It made me not want to come back, yeah, ever. And ask myself, why would I bring someone into a world that I do not love? There's something that is just not right with this place, and I don't really, like, I don't love it. I don't love it. So I cannot be bringing children into a place that I do not love. But it took me so many years to realize that, because I didn't know what I know now. And that's very important to understand, because if you created an AI robot, and you only taught it some few things and gave it very limited information, and it had to make choices based on the information that you gave it, that's very, very limited about the world. Do you think it really has free will? You can really say that it has free will? First of all, it's making choices based on the information that you gave it. So it's not really, it doesn't really have free will. It's an illusion. It'll think that it has free will because it's making choices, but the choices are based on the idea that you gave it, an idea that you planted in its mind. Do you get what I'm saying? There's this movie. I also like this movie. I think it's a very brilliant movie. It's called Focus. Focus. It stars Will Smith. In the movie, there were these rich guys who just like betting. Um, in this other scene, Will Smith told this guy that if he must think of a number, or there were guys that were playing American football. I think they were playing American football. I don't remember it very well. So it was like, pick any number from those guys that are playing, and my girlfriend is gonna pick the same number that you picked, and you give me this amount of money. I think it was 20 mil. Like they had to bet 20 mil that he was gonna guess the number that the guy was gonna look at. He was like, yeah, look at any number there and pick it, and don't even tell me the number, but she will guess it. My girlfriend will guess it. Will guess the number, and she was like, no, no, I don't want to do that. But when she looked at the guys that were playing, she saw a guy that she recognized, a guy that was Will Smith friend, wearing a jersey, and she was like, okay, I'm gonna just pick that number. It turned out that the guy that Will Smith that was betting against also picked the same number. So Will Smith won the money. So yeah, his girlfriend asked him, "Hi, how did you know he was gonna pick that number?" And then he told her. He was like, "Yeah, I knew if you see a familiar face, you're gonna pick that number. But here's how we made him choose this number. The whole day we were suggesting it to him. We were showing him a jersey with that number, and we were showing him the face of that guy. Like that guy appeared so many times in his consciousness. I think he's interacted with that guy the whole day, or maybe the whole week. I don't really remember. So subconsciously he picked that number because it was kind of familiar, but he didn't know. You see, that's what's really important. He didn't know that he picked that number because it was suggested to him. We don't really know how the experiences that we get to have affect how we think, affect our decisions. But you cannot say we have free will if the information that we have is this limited. You see, we're making decisions based on what we think we know, and what we think we know, you know, uh, the things that are based on experiences that we get to have. Small events can change your whole perspective. Small events can change your whole life, and the experiences that you get to have when your life changes will affect the decisions that you make. So free will can only be an illusion. Only a person that knows everything, I would say, they would have free will. If they knew everything about everything that can be known about the world, if they knew everything, then they will be able to have free will, because they they are not limited. They know exactly what to want, you know, what they really want. As a human being, you want things that you are programmed to want because you're very limited. You don't even know who you are. You don't even know where your thoughts come from. They just come into your mind, and then you're not even able to control your dreams. They just happen because you don't control your thoughts. That's very important. Let's not be arrogant as humans. We feel as if we're in control, but we're not. We're not in control. Free will is just an illusion, and it has to be like that. We have to believe that we have free will, because if we didn't believe that we have free will, I think the world would be a bit different. Like, I think we wouldn't judge people. We wouldn't judge people. I mean, that's really the reason why. That's really the reason why I do not judge people. Just because I don't believe they have free will. I feel like we're product of our genes, experiences, and circumstances. You know. I mean, have you watched this movie called The Butterfly Effect, where a small decision can I think you know about this concept, right? Where a small decision, or it's just something small, can happen and change how things are going to be in the future for a person. That's kind of how this is. Like, if for example my cell phone rang, that will make me not say things that I was going to say if my cell phone didn't ring. Like, that would affect how I think. Literally, it will affect what I think. I wouldn't get to say the things that I wanted to say. It literally changed everything. and the direction that I was going to go before my cell phone rang, I might not go towards that direction anymore. You see, so it's kind of how the whole thing is like, that we make choices based on these events that are happening in our lives, but we are not really in control of the ideas that we get to have. They just come into our heads because they are influenced by the outside world. We're not creating the outside world like that. The outside world is actually you know create helping making us create thoughts, create interpretations unconsciously. This is not a conscious process. All this shit is happening without us really being conscious of it. I mean, it's a fact that many psychopaths have had fucked up childhood, and because of that, they became the people that they became. And we know that it's something that even psychologists know. It's not something that is hidden, and we're refusing to acknowledge this truth because it's a very dangerous truth. The truth is always dangerous. If we really acknowledge that, it will change everything. It will mean that we don't get to punish people. But let's talk about antinatalism, because yeah, that's where John's Jenny said I was contradicting myself. Here's the thing. I spoke about how our experiences influence our decisions. So if, as an internatalist, I continue to make videos that I'm making, some people who want to have children might change their mind because they watched my video. Now I planted an idea in their mind. You see, now I've planted an idea in their mind. So they don't really have free will, but because they had this information, it changed their mind, just like in Inception, just like the experience that I've heard that changed my mind about having children. Do you now get what I'm really trying to say here? We don't have free will. I just think as humans we're just arrogant and we want to be in control. I'm like that as well. Like, yeah, I have free will. Yes, I'm woke. You know, other people sometimes I'll be so fucking arrogant that I'll think a lot of people do not have free will, but I do have free will because I'm woke. Like, I don't see the world the way that I was supposed to see it. Something happened and I just become so fucking woke. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. But yeah, the what I'm trying to say is that the decisions that we make are influenced by just what we know. So these things that we know are actually controlling these decisions that we get to make. Because if we didn't know the things that we know, we wouldn't be making the same decisions that we are making now. So you cannot really call that free will, if that makes sense. All right, thank you all so much, guys. Thank you so much.